Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, Me, and today I will be reading Chapter 32 of Engagement in Peril by Dara Odoe Sup. Chapter 32 is titled 8th Grade Award. During a school award ceremony in late May of 1991, Suzanne and I went to our end of school year award ceremony separately. She went to the event with her mother and sibling, whereas I went alone. I didn't bother to tell my mother of my academic accolade and achievements that year. While Suzanne's mom drove her and her sibling to the school auditorium that evening, I walked myself to school in my best black dress shirt and only black dress shoes. I walked my lonesome self to school that afternoon to pick up my achievements and awards. During that award ceremony, I received 4 plaque awards for various subjects that evening. It didn't really matter to me if I had praise from my parents and family. I know what I did and what I had accomplished. I wasn't the type to seek congratulations or cheers from anyone. I never seek the gratitude and congratulation from anyone, even to this day. For example, I graduated cum laude from Cal State Long Beach and didn't even bother telling my family about it. No one came. I was just there by myself. I simply showed up to the graduation ceremony in my cap and gown, did my walk, and came home right after. That was it. You're still that same person, Dara. You didn't even invite your parent and family to your bachelor degree graduation. What a tool you have become. It's that sort of shitty attitude that makes people think you're all weird. As I told myself what had become and is. And during that award ceremony that evening in middle school, Suzanne received 3 achievement plaques, where the ceremony ended and students went home for their parents with their parents and loved ones. I walked home alone in the dark while Suzanne was comfortably sitting in their family van. It was getting pretty late by that time. The award night was over, and it was dark and damp, and that night, while I walked myself home miles away. While I was running in the dark carrying my 4 award plaque in my dress shirt that I had taken off and rolled up in my award and put my award in, Suzanne's family drove by in their van, and she saw me running home in the dark. Perhaps feeling sorry for my situation then, I guess Suzanne told her mother about me and being her classmate and such. All of a sudden, they stopped along the curb and waited until I walked by their van, and they asked if I wanted a ride home. It seemed weird to me at first. With some hesitation and with heavy breathing, I said, "Sure, I'll go into the back of their van and sat. I'll go with you guys." So I said, "Sure," and I got into the back of the van and sat between Suzanne and Annie in their back row seat, pretending that we barely knew each other. You remember what happened the next day, Dara, when Suzanne saw you? I laugh over my past mistake. On the way home in my drive, I didn't realize my fly was wide open the entire ride home. Her mom had told Suzanne about it later. They had a hell of a laugh at my expense that night. Besides having my fly open for their family to see my nut huggers, I noticed that her mom kept looking at in the rearview mirror to see what Suzanne and I were doing back there. With embarrassment and shame, I apologized to Suzanne and Annie for my silly mistake, and they laughed it over and got it even more. The last day of middle school shortly came after the award night ceremony. Nothing much was happening during our last week of school. We mostly signed yearbook, had little parties, and watched movies in our various classrooms. Kelly and I shook hands and goodbye for the summer and gave each other well wishes for the summer. I wanted so bad to do more than just shake Kelly's hand, her soft caressing hand then. I wanted to eat her up and tear her apart, or at the very least give her a warm embrace. If I had only the opportunity to do so, or the balls to do so, to Kelly, I would have. I would have gladly done so. Oh, how I do wish I can turn back the hands of time for that. Yeah, right, you're lying, you scary son of a bitch. You're scared shitless, Dara. You would have done nothing to Kelly if she had to open her legs to you and present herself to you. You would have done nothing. You would just have been in awe and just look, not daring to move an inch toward her. You're so afraid of her, just being around her makes you all weak in the knees. Once again, I remind myself of what once was. Oh, several weeks before middle school had ended, I was asked to show Kelly how to French kiss by Suzanne and her other friends. To my disbelief, Suzanne was okay with it. She was actually the one who told me to go ahead and show Kelly how to to French kiss. Somehow I knew it was a setup of sorts, so I frantically refused her request, and in shame and embarrassment, I pretended to refuse to go with their request and denied all that was told to me. In actuality, in my head, I really wanted to swallow Kelly whole. I would have loved to show Kelly the way then that if I was such a bastardly chicken. I now regret that refusal to make out with Kelly then. Perhaps that was my moment to shine and get in real good with Kelly, but then again, I'm sure it was just a test. I was just simple, young, and naive. You did right then, Dara. It was a test, and you would have failed tragically if you had gone with showing Kelly what French kissing was all about. Luckily you thought twice then, although you could have gotten somewhere with Kelly if you had tried to make out with her for the sake of Suzanne's request. But I doubt it. I praised and doubted my lost once in a million chance to kiss that girl, that it girl, my dream girl, Kelly then. As our 8th grade school year came to an end, and Suzanne and her friends and I went to the 8th grade dance together as a group. We all dressed up in our party outfits and such. I wore jeans and t-shirt, like I often did. I didn't really much like dancing and didn't know any dance move. I really did not know how to dance at all. I really did enjoy myself at the dance part of the evening after all. I was happy to be there near Suzanne and Kelly. They both enjoyed it, after all. All afternoon long, Suzanne danced with her friends and such. I only danced with her several times. They were both slow dances. I only wanted to hold and caress Suzanne. Of course, I wanted to hold and caress Kelly as well. But I was with Suzanne, and after all, and had to watch my ways of thinking then. Thinking back now, I should have danced a song or two with Kelly. I'm sure she wouldn't have minded. After all, we were now friends, and I was dating and fucking around with her best friend Suzanne. That's what I'd like to think. After graduation from Franklin Middle School that afternoon, Suzanne, Annie, Lynn, and Lynn's brother and I went to the park near Shoreline Village, off of Shoreline Drive and Pine Avenue. Kelly wasn't able to come along with us. She had other plans that afternoon with her family. With our bought goods, snacks, and beverages, we walked about the beach and shoreline area. While we all walked and toward each other, we chit-chat and shared some bought ice cream. We didn't do much there. We just merely walked around until Lynn's dad came by to pick us all up and take us home. That was the end of our middle school year together. Luckily for all of us, we all had been accepted to Long Beach Polytechnic High School and placed in the CIC Accelerate program there. Thank you for listening. This is the end of Chapter 32. Be on the lookout for Chapter 33, titled Summer Break 1991. This is Do, Ra, Mi, and I'll see you later. Thank you.